Lads, Coventry are the champions. Frank Lampard's lifted the trophy. Am I allowed to wear these glasses?
I don't want to urinate on your strawberries, but
We should talk about what is much more straightforward.
all the comments are going to say Ben's just trying to pour water on it because he's an Ipswich fan.
Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
You don't know that one.
Getting relegated, mate.
Hello guys, welcome back to the Sportsman Untitled, brought to you by Betfred, and I'm joined by Conor McGilligan and Benjamin Bloom today with my sky blue sunglasses on because, lads, Coventry are the champions. Frank Lampard's lifted the trophy. Am I allowed to wear these glasses all show?
It's just not really our vibe, is it? I mean,
I wasn't allowed party balloons. I wasn't allowed party poppers.
It's a you thing. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
It's mainly to cover the horrendous eyes and the hangover. Connor,
Yeah.
Frank Lampard, Championship champion, Coventry, 92 points now. Really run away with the league.
Yeah, pretty impressive, really, especially after that blip where I know we were on here and maybe we were having a few conversations on whether or not you are going to keep that bottle. You have done. You've been seriously impressive. And that was crowned at the weekend, wasn't it? With a nice, comfortable 3-1 win over Wrexham. Excellent Victor Torp goal as well, wasn't it?
Oh, it's just his set pieces are superb, and you kind of felt it around the ground that free kick was going to go in when it was awarded. He is superb. Ben, how do you think we'll reflect on this Coventry team as champions?
I think it'll be looked upon as, one of the best promotions of the last sort of 5 or 10 years when, everyone makes the argument there's no parachute payments now these days, and Coventry obviously traded brilliantly to put themselves, into that position. I think Frank Lampard's story is a good one as well. And hopefully we see in the Premier League next year the incremental gains thing, because we've seen teams go lightning in a bottle, shoot right through. But to stabilise, build team number one, get in the playoffs, lose in the final, reset, build team number two, go again, lose in the playoffs. That tends to have a longer tail than just, a brilliant managerial performance or a brilliant season and you go straight through. But yeah, and when you actually look at the table now and they're miles clear at the top, I think they're going to be fondly looked upon. How do they compare with the Leeds team of last year?
I think what's really impressive about Cov and where I think they might have a little advantage in the Premier League is we've seen, specifically this season, I know Burnley we've been taken apart, James Trafford, CJ Egan-Riley, obviously Brownhill leaving as well, Cullen been injured for a large portion of the season. They went up with almost that defensive rear guard, and that's what they were famous for. Obviously last season, as we know. I think when you go up to the Premier League, you need to be extremely good at the other end of the pitch, and then obviously you still have to evolve in the transfer market, not to look too far ahead, but I think the big positive this season about Cov is they score goals, and they've got a lot of talent in that attacking compartment as well, which I think suits almost perfectly in the Premier League.
And you talk about individual players stepping up. Which of these players do you think will? Because I see this Coventry team staying together a lot of it with a few additions. Sunderland revamped their entire squad. Leeds maybe a few changes here and there. Which individuals do you think can make the step up?
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation, isn't it? And obviously I'm keen to hear your guys' thoughts as well. I think the obvious one is Rushworth, and he's been outstanding.
Got to sign him first, Con.
Yeah,
got to sign that contract.
That's, obviously, we'll wait and see what happens there. That would be an outstanding sign.
Van Evik?
Really good. Van Evik, yeah. And I would go currently, sort of the obvious ones at the minute, and I'm sure you can talk around some others, but I think the obvious ones, I don't know if you'd agree, Van Evik for me, Rushworth and Jack Rodoni. I think are the three solid ones. I think all the others are up for debate a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd throw Mason Clark in there after his
throw the whole
recent
team
performance.
All wearing those ridiculous sunglasses as well, Carno.
Yeah.
They're going to win the Premier League.
I'm a curmudgeon with my team set in second place and 2 games to go.
Should we talk about Ipswich? It's going to be fascinating.
You don't really want to, do you?
No, I wish we could talk about Cov the entire show.
That was a quick segment, that.
For him, yeah, go.
Ipswich dropped points really this weekend, 0-0 at West Brom, but obviously still in their hands. Talk about the performance first, Ben, in terms of what happened at West Brom, because they've been impressive on the flip side of it.
We should say that the kickoff times, because Millwall drew, helped Ipswich, didn't they? If Millwall had won, obviously the reverse would be true, and that had piled the pressure on. But Ipswich then go into a game against West Brom, who rather unhelpfully got deducted 2 points the day before and put out a statement saying, we will settle this on the pitch. And they've been very good. West Brom, I think they're like 10 unbeaten and huge number of clean sheets in there. So they're a good side. But Ipswich knew you've got 3 games. You can have 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat. And you happen to have West Brom, Southampton and QPR. And I think you can see where I'm going with the win, the draw and the defeat. They've got the draw. So if the defeat comes at Southampton, then a win at QPR, I know we're coming on to this, still secures promotion. It was very April. It was very nervy. It smacked of a team that had played 100 away games in the calendar year of 2026. Yeah, you can make the argument Ipswich have got a very good squad and the players have been expensively assembled, but that doesn't make you doesn't give you any more energy, the psychological and mental drain of it. And West Brom could well have been in front, but at 60 minutes, games where a draw suits both sides often end up in a draw.
Yeah, absolutely. It does seem like they're in the kind of driving seat now, doesn't it, for second place? And we'll come on to our like predictions and stuff later in the video. But Ipswich should get the job done from it. It's not a guarantee at all. 2 tough games to come. They could basically get over the line against Southampton in midweek or a favourable home game on the final day.
Yeah, it's limping over the line a little bit. It's kind of how it feels at the minute, isn't it?
When I became a parent, just be good enough is what I was told. This is really hard and it's not spectacular, but
yeah, look, you can look even last season, can't you, at Sunderland in that playoff final, just as obviously it's a bit of a different comparison, but Sunderland in that playoff final needed to be good enough for 30 minutes.
Right.
You know, you look at that other 60 minutes, Sheffield United were on top, but Sunderland were good for 20, 30 minutes and they got into the Premier League and they've not looked back. They've been brilliant this season. So it is all about just getting that promotion. I think Ipswich will just get over the line. I agree with Ben, or Ben's not said it yet, but I think Southampton will be a tricky task down there. Ipswich's away form hasn't been great all season. Southampton, they were seriously impressive, I thought, at Wembley as well. But yeah, I think Ipswich will do it.
Simon McKenna, that would be 3 promotions in 4 years if he gets it done.
Unbelievable. I think that is where the contrast comes in, because Ipswich was so exciting and like a winning machine. The last time they came up from 97 points?
96, I think, yeah.
Anyway, a ridiculous level, whereas this season it hasn't. You've not hit the heights of that season of being on a winning run, and it's just been grinding it out. But that is a skill in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, the comparison I've made a few times is Sheffield United 2018-19, spectacular, 3 centre-backs, marauding, up for 2 years, come down, Heckingbottom, Berger and die, just good enough. Well, Burnley are doing the Coventry gimmick up at the top. But, you know, every season is its own kind of entity and it is a race. And, you know, you've just got to get there by hook or by crook. And we've made lots of longing comparisons to the team of 2 years ago. This is not that team, but it might be a team that finishes in exactly the same position in the table.
I think as well, what's staggering as well, just with Ipswich and kind of the idea of how good Ipswich have been this season, which they have, of course. Picking up 9 wins on the road out of 22 is quite a staggering stat, isn't it? You expected it to be on upper echelon, really, but it's...
Where does that rank them, Connor?
That ranks them in 7th.
Well, Con, there's been 2 in April as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's been backloaded, hasn't it?
Home form is just absolutely imperative in this division. The good thing about Coventry, I guess.
Well, Con, it is when it's just over 80 points, you think, you can just be... all right, good enough, as I said, you can just do that away from home, can't you?
Well, little question as well. Who do you think's been the best away team this season in the Championship?
Millwall, isn't it?
It's Millwall.
Yeah.
And guaranteed to be Millwall even before the final game week. What's their points total, Connor?
Their points total away from home, games played 23 points, 41.
There you go.
1.78 points per game on the road.
So no one's done 2 PPG away from home this season?
No. And bring us on to Millwall beautifully, Ben, because as you said, it felt like you looked at those last 2 Millwall games, and we said on last week's show, Leicester, Oxford, they've got to be targeting 6 points from those games. It was drop points and an under par performance and a bit of a revitalisation from Leicester, I guess, in terms of what we've seen from them this season. But you can't help but feel Alex Neil will be ruining that missed opportunity for 3 points.
Yeah, and Connor points out rightly how good they've been away from home, and we've seen victories recently. Sorry, it's very, very dry in this room, right? We'll keep clearing our...
And the lights are really bright today as well, by the way.
Clearing our throats here. We love this studio, but if you're wondering why we're coughing and spluttering our way through this.
That's not the reason I'm coughing and spluttering.
Oh,
That's very different. I'm going to put the sunglasses back on.
No, look, the pressure was on. The thing Ipswich had was obviously the game in hand and the goal difference. So, although both sides have drawn, not all draws are equal at this time of the season. Fair play to Leicester, because I suspect there may be 7 or 8 changes and the average age of the team will plummet for round 46 as they try and save some appearance bonuses and whatnot on the last game of the season. But yeah, surprised. I mean, Aziz had that chance in stoppage time off the shoulder. You thought, could they nick it? Is Jake Cooper a bit lucky to possibly be going into a playoff semi-final and being available for both games? But the Millwall have been outstanding this season. I think we're all sat there just waiting for them to do the job. I felt if they took the lead in that game, Leicester would wilt and they would go on and win it. But great to see Suter back as well, because he's had some terrible injury problems.
I was about saying, you wonder with Harry Suter there. You know, you look at his campaign before. Obviously, it was cut short at Sheffield United the other season. How impressive he was. I thought he was excellent against Millwall. And you kind of, with the greatest respect, you look at maybe the centre-back partnerships of Adekole and Vestergaard, you wonder the leader in Suter, if he was there for more of the season, if Leicester would have maybe been able to get over the line. I don't know, but you just felt his presence. I thought
in
against
both
Millwall,
boxes, obviously, but he's massive, massive in stature, massive in influence.
And even when Jake Cooper made that tackle on Abdul Fatawu, Harry Suter straight, and you think just that presence, that leadership. I wonder, and he's obviously a fantastic Championship player. I think, you know, maybe
not a League One player, is he?
You wonder any Championship club will be
Very
really lucky to get hold of him. Maybe even a Premier League club, who knows?
Oh, iron him up for league.
Well, you.
Coburn getting injured as well for Millwall at the start of that game. Langstaff with the late equaliser. Oxford at home on Saturday for Millwall. That again feels like a game they should win, but as we've said, it looks like it's in Ipswich's hands, and it's a 3 points and done, isn't it, really, Ben?
And we've got the get out that round 46 is weird sometimes, isn't it? You know, the sun is shining, everyone actually kicks off at the same time, and sometimes weird things like the team who's in third go 2-0 down to, you know, I'm not saying Millwall will do this, but we see it sometimes on final day. There's always loads of goals. It's a bit of a crazy sight, but Millwall just have to win that game, and they need a favour. But might not be anything on it if Ipswich go to St Mary's and win on tomorrow at time of recording here. But yeah, they're still fairly likely to take it to the last day, aren't they, Millwall? And you would think they would beat Oxford.
Yeah, an exciting end to the season coming up for sure. A Borough back, Connor, 5-1, and Morgan Whitaker on fire. I know the caveat is Watford are dreadful, but Borough getting their goals back up and running, getting a bit of confidence, still without Hackney coming back for the playoffs, still without Riley McGree, and you just think it is likely to be the playoffs for them now, unless some mad results happen.
Yeah.
But if they can carry some momentum into the playoffs and get back and maybe get the home leg as well second, it's going to be important for them.
Do we know, Si, if McGree and Hackney are back for the playoffs?
Hackney is going to be back for the playoffs. McGree, I think, is a bit more of a question mark.
Okay. McGree, if he just had a little bit more consistency in his career, I think he'd be playing at the top level, to be honest. But really important Hackney coming back. I do think they've missed him, but there has got to be a bit of a mentality surge, especially with Whitaker, who looked absolutely phenomenal at the weekend.
Free kick was just
and then he hit the bar as well. We were joking, and then he got taken off. But Strelly getting on the score sheet as well. Tommy Conway as well. We know they've had problems with that number 9 in front of goal. And you look at Borough's last 6 to 8 games, it's not been good enough, has it, really? Especially in front of goal. But the funny thing is, the amount of chances they're creating, the XG that they're creating, and they just can't get anywhere near putting the ball in the back of the net conversion-wise. So, important, really, really important. Hackney coming back, hopefully McGree coming back as well at some stage. I think that was a really important win at the weekend, and how they won was as important as well.
Yeah, I want to quickly flip this over to Watford though, Ben, because I saw the stat that they've now picked up 19 points from their last 21 Championship games. Let's not forget this was a team in 4th, I think, at the start of January. It's not gone Ed Still's way, and we're probably looking at another new manager this summer, aren't we?
Yeah, and when I heard the post-match press conference and kind of went a little bit scorched earth on the players, and what was the line he said? We went for a certain profile of personality in this game, and you've seen the outcome.
Oof.
I don't think you say that around Mr. Potso and keep you. I'm sure there's a payoff coming, but you don't want to come in and have a cup of tea in the Championship and lose your first full-time manager. No, I think he'd done a job in France, hadn't he, where he'd been the main man. But certainly in English football, it's his first job, and it is a good job. I know we kind of joke about the ownership and whatnot, but you look at the location, it's easy to get players down that M25 area, nice part of the world where you train, and you're kind of just outside London, and there's still good players in the squad, but it's a stinking end to the season. And what we had, Pezzolano, Grazia, so hard with Watford, and still this season. Would you be surprised if there was a...
No, it's interesting actually, the fall off since the new year, because exactly the same thing happened under Tom Cleverley, which is kind of why he lost his job at the end of the season.
There's a weird stat, and the Watford fans will check me. I think something like in April and May, or March and April, Watford have won 0 out of 23 games over. There's some strange stat that at this point it's not just this season or last season. They just fall asleep and change manager and don't get promoted.
They're on the beach FC, aren't they?
Very much so, yeah.
Wrexham versus Middlesbrough final day, that feels like, and we're going to come on to the race for the playoffs, Connor, but that feels like maybe Sky Sports main game to watch, doesn't it, really?
It does, yeah. I guess at this stage as well, and I know, look, Wrexham are going to be looking at, obviously getting into this conversation and potentially being in the Premier League and all that sort of stuff, but I think they've had a really good season, a really, really good season. I wonder if you are a Wrexham fan, and as I said, let us know in the comment section below, but I wonder if you're a Wrexham fan and you can maybe just take, you can take a little bit of a scope of what has actually happened. If we don't go up, worst case scenario, you've got the playoff expansion, you've got a new stand being built, you're going to go heavy again in the transfer market. It's a very exciting time to be a Wrexham fan. So, look, big game for them, and obviously they'll be wanting to win, but I think there's a bigger picture. First time in the, first promotion back to the Championship as well. It's interesting the difference between them and Birmingham at the minute as well. And
to be the best of the newly promoted teams is an achievement.
Yeah, and obviously just how much they're all in on Phil Parkinson still. And we were comparing Birmingham and Wrexham heavily at the start. I had Birmingham in the top 6, maybe Wrexham just missing out. And the difference in feel between Chris Davis and Phil Parkinson at this moment in time. So, yeah, obviously Wrexham will be wanting to get in there. I completely understand that, but I think there's a bigger picture here for the Welsh side.
Absolutely. Wrexham might be sitting watching that game on Tuesday night, hoping that Ipswich get quite a heavy win at Southampton, because that would change Middlesbrough's approach to the final day, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely would. I mean, obviously you're going to want to go in with a win into those playoffs, but I think the point you're making is that Ipswich would be promoted on Tuesday, therefore Middlesbrough would be pretty much, they're not going to finish below 5th, so they're not going to change their semi-final opponent, whatever happens on the final day of the season. However, we've spoken a lot about, you're going to, if it is Southampton, you're going to want whatever, which it likely would be, because you're suggesting an Ipswich win there.
And Millwall likely to win, obviously, on the final day.
Yeah, quite, yeah. You want to play at home second, but then, we get into the conversation of it's tournament football and it's damn hard, whoever you're playing. But I'm sure you're about to come on to one side in particular trending in the right direction, waiting in the wings, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to touch on the FA Cup semi-final in Southampton, Connor. Your team was in an FA Cup semi-final this weekend. Unfortunate loss there, but Southampton almost thought they'd done it and beaten Manchester City. Just fell apart at the end there, but another really good performance. How do you think that game affects their run-in now to the end of the season?
I don't think Tonda Eckert will let it, affect it. If anything, it's going to affect it in a positive way. Look where you could be, look how you could compete, and they did compete. They were very good against City. The shape was, I know City made 8 changes, but when City make 8 changes, it's still a top side, isn't it? I thought they defended very, very well in a low block. I thought Taylor Howard-Bellis was outstanding. I just think now there's a real confidence with them. Every time they went forward, I thought Leo Cienza was outrageously good. Finn Azaz was knotting it together really nicely as well. Larin came on, thought he was impressive. So yeah, if I'm Tonderek, I'm just saying to them, go out, play your game, and this is what you could be doing next season coming up against this lot, because they competed to a very high standard.
Tonder's a sensible guy, Con. He'll be going. Well, Ipswich are definitely going to be QPR. So we just play the reserves against Ipswich on Tuesday. It's not important. This one.
It has happened again though, and we talked about it a few weeks. Ipswich once again playing an FA Cup semi-finalists, and they need to go away and win the game to basically seal promotion.
Well, and hopefully, if I'm allowed to put my Ipswich hat on, it'll be a similar thing where the psychological and emotional toll of going to Wembley and getting close and running around takes it out of Southampton. But starting lineups are going to be very, very interesting to see. I think Eka and McKenna are going to be outguessing, second guessing, double bluffing each other on that, and probably going to both have to end up just going, well, can't gamble here, strongest team out, and the weekend will have to take care of itself.
Have to just see what happens. And their goal difference is also very strong, and they could finish above Middlesbrough on goal difference if that goes their way. So
are they ahead of them currently?
They are
One goal behind. Wow.
Middlesbrough on plus 25 goal difference, Southampton 3 points behind on plus 24.
Travelling to Wrexham.
Borough away at Wrexham, Ipswich goal difference plus 30, but if they lose 2 or 3-0 at Southampton, it changes things. There's so many permutations to try and work out. We're going to do something on Sportsman Untitled Extra where we try and put some results in and come up with our final table. We should talk about what is much more straightforward, Con, is the race for 6th place. Wrexham currently there. Just to read out the points to the viewers. Wrexham on 70, plus 4 goal difference. Hull on 70, plus 3 goal difference. And Derby on 69, plus 9 goal difference. Wrexham versus Middlesbrough on the final day. Win, and they're not guaranteed to be in, but it would certainly help them out.
Yeah, you do we've looked at Borough this season, and they've halted a little bit, but their away record is very good as well. They're tough to beat on the road. Are you asking me for a prediction here? Or
you can hold that a little bit. I think maybe we should we talked about Wrexham a bit, but Ben, maybe we should focus on Hull, because they have dropped off slightly, haven't they? I think it's no wins in 6.
10 points in 11.
That's relegation.
Relegation form, where I come from. Yeah, and my maths don't you know, yeah.
And that is why they're now outside the playoffs, and their final game is at home to Norwich.
That's a horrible opponent.
It's the you do not want to be coming up against Norwich now.
Norwich with a hot hand striker up front, banging the goals in, and a freedom and a big trend upwards. And I'm sorry, I know the Hull fans were confident earlier in the season, but they're all going to be going in thinking, "Oh, we've let this one go." And you know what it's like as well when you see Derby County just appear with a 3-2 win in round 45 from behind, and you're thinking, and also I don't like the momentum here.
And the defeat to Charlton is a Charlton team that were wildly out of form as well, and dropping towards the bottom 3. And you think, Hull, go and win that game, go and put a good performance in, and it's just not happening for them.
They just look a bit, I don't know about you lads, I've just been keeping an eye on Hull. I actually thought, sort of January onwards, I actually predicted them to get into the playoff final and to go up. I was so convinced with them going forward, they were so potent. I just think they look fragile now, Ben. I think they look really fragile.
To be fair, that was a couple of Kelman's goal was
outrageous.
Incredible for Charlton. So
2 brilliant goals for Charlton.
February. And Charlton have been bad, but there was that narrative of the whole state. We just need to win a game to get over the line, and that's what did for them in the end. But momentum is big here, isn't it? And the momentum, Simon, is bad for Hull, isn't it?
And it's good for Derby County, Connor, because an amazing away win, 3-2 away at QPR, a late wonder goal, really giving them a chance.
Usually special that 3 shots on target, yeah.
And it's an amazing goal right at the end, but it gives them a real shot. And if you look at the fixtures, they've possibly got the most favourable fixture, because they're playing Sheffield United at home, aren't they, Ben? Which is easily winnable given where Sheffield United are right now.
Yeah, and we were speaking about Derby's home record as well, weren't we? And it just feels like this is perfect for Eustace right now. I had them out of it, to be honest with you, sort of probably 5 to 6 weeks ago, and I think logic would strike that as what everyone was thinking at the time. But I think they're just solid, aren't they? They've got quality within the ranks. And you just wonder, with a little bit of a misstep here, which we've seen with Wrexham and definitely with Hull, if Derby can just get in on that last day. And Sheffield United have been seriously poor. Wilder's press conferences afterwards, he's talking about player character and we're going to have to do a lot in the transfer window, and you wonder if he's obviously calling out certain personnel. Are they going to be going into this game with the right headspace? Can Derby take advantage of that? I mean, you can't count them out right now, can you, Derby? They've put themselves right into the picture. I think the big thing as well is, like we've just mentioned, Wrexham coming up against the Borough side, who have been very decent away from home this season, and Hull's fragility, which I'll stand on. Derby have got a real chance here.
And, sorry, Simon.
Yeah, it's all right.
Derby have got the goal difference.
Yeah, they have.
So there is
Huge.
even a scenario where Derby clean sheet and a draw,
And the other two lose.
and they overtake them. Which, in some ways, you almost prefer it when you go in. If you're the chasing team, you just know that you have to win. So sometimes the draw being a possibility makes things worse. I do think there's something in Wrexham playing at home, though.
Yeah, they're very good. Very good.
Yeah.
And when that atmosphere's up and they have to do something, they're an impressive team at home. I think it's massive what happens on Tuesday for Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
If Ipswich lose and Middlesbrough mathematically have a chance to finish second, which would be the case,
Changes dynamic, doesn't
they
it?
they go full strength. They try and win the game, and it makes it very difficult for Wrexham.
I don't want to urinate on your strawberries, but even then, though, Simon, Middlesbrough would still need Millwall and Ipswich to not beat QPR and Oxford at home. So even if Middlesbrough are still in it on the last day, it's still
It could, but
unlikely that they're going to get a favour from two teams directly above them. And then would Southampton, Southampton would move above them on guts. They need a favour from three teams potentially on the last day. I don't know what the boffins have got as Middlesbrough's percentage, but it must be low, Simon.
it's very difficult. And also, it's going to be interesting to see how the team that finishes third lines up against whichever team gets the momentum into the playoffs. You would think it'd be Wrexham. I mean, if Hull pull out a win and get in there, I don't know if that changes their momentum fully, but it will be interesting to see which is the third place team that gets the easiest tie for the playoffs. I don't think, almost as a conclusion in this, I think we'll save our predictions for later in the week, but I don't think I can trust Hull to win a home game against Norwich. I'm not convinced by Wrexham up against Middlesbrough. So I'll say I'm leaning towards Derby right now, even though it's out of their hands. You don't know, do you?
It's so competitive, isn't it? Yeah. And we all know Sheffield United on the day can be a problem for anyone in this division. So it's, what Sheffield United turns up. If it's a Sheffield United that's turned up against Blackburn and Preston in the last week or so, then Sheffield United, I think, will lose this game pretty heavily. I understand your logic. I do get it. I still think with Wrexham being in that top six, though, and that home fixture, it probably favours them a little bit.
A point goes a long way in round 46, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And Derby are going to be going into it thinking, right, what's this best case scenario for us to get through? Whereas Wrexham are kind of going in, unless Hull are going to smash Norwich and flip the goal difference. Wrexham are kind of going in, beat Middlesbrough and we're in here.
Another interesting point, actually, is that next season, if the table was this season, next season, the playoffs would all be decided. Because Norwich are 4 points behind Derby in eighth. So for all of the EFL's argument about making it more competitive, there would be less to play for on the final day, apart from trying to avoid that extra semi-final. So we'll have to see how it pans out next season. We need to talk about relegation as well, Connor, because we did lose Oxford this weekend, even though they beat Wednesday 4-1, and they have been impressive under Bloomfield, and it looks like another high points total going down, but they've just not quite made it and kind of fallen under that rising tide.
Yeah, I wonder if, De Keersmaker would have been fit throughout the last couple of months, if that would have maybe been a little bit of a differential. Lancashire's been excellent, hasn't he? And we wonder
What a double, by the way.
Fantastic goals, yeah. Pat Harris getting on the score sheet as well. Yeah, they've given it a really good go, haven't they? And you feel 47 points total for that Oxford United side, over a point per game. Just really unfortunate that they've come up against...
Significantly over under Bloomfield, I'd imagine, as well.
Yeah. Just coming up against, you look at this resurgent West Bromwich Albion side that we were talking about before. They've just been on the wrong end of it. Probably any other season, it keeps you up, probably, doesn't it? So, yeah, real shame for Oxford. And, yeah, sad to see them go, but I'm sure they'll definitely be bouncing back next season.
Yeah, Bloomfield done an excellent job since coming in. It feels like, and we thought at the time it was a very significant goal, but that equaliser at Portsmouth, where they could not hold on, if you flip that and give them an extra 2 points and the momentum that it brings, Ben.
And then do Pompey go and win 3 games in a week following it? Yeah, that's the sliding doors moment. But it's, Simon, I get it. It's easy to find those moments, but then you've got to look at what happened before before Christmas and, the mountain that they were left to climb. But Connor makes a good point. Compare how the Leicester fans and the Oxford fans are probably going to be feeling about their squad and their manager going into next season. You would think, and look, West Brom have been deducted points. So on pitch, to have been without goal difference above Blackburn, who are 21st in terms of points, you'd have needed to score 53 points this season. So it's definitely been the high tide that you mentioned. And as much as it's no consolation for the Oxford, we gave it a good go, chaps, and didn't quite make it. Well, they did. And as you say, that sets them up nicely in League One, doesn't it? Where Matt Bloomfield has scored tons of points with Wycombe before, hasn't he?
Yeah, it feels like the strength of the division has maybe been criticised in some quarters this season because there's not been
every season.
There's not been 100-point runaway leaders and champions. But I think looking at that, where you're looking at Portsmouth stringing together wins in a row,
Portsmouth beat Middlesbrough and Ipswich in that week,
and you realise how difficult it is for the top teams now to beat those teams at the bottom. Connor,
yeah, I mean, you look at Portsmouth, and we were all having a conversation on here probably a couple of months ago, saying they're in real trouble here. 4 out of 5 wins. Charlton, I feel, have been safe for a while, so okay, getting that victory at the weekend over Hull. Blackburn under O'Neill have really changed it around as well. What a job he's done.
Did not see that coming.
I didn't. None of us did. I think we all thought they'd be down there. Blackburn and then West Bromwich Albion. It's just unlucky because Oxford haven't been poor.
No.
They've been good. So it's just maybe that added layer of quality which they've just missed out on this season, which was always going to be the vulnerable point, I think.
Simon, just quickly on Pompey, Segicic, 21 years old, hat-trick at the weekend, 7 goal contributes in his last 5, 4 wins in those 5 games. Got to build stars.
Yeah.
What a signing.
There's a star.
Great recruitment. Fantastic.
At last in the attacking third as well. They need to build on that, Pompey.
Yeah.
Not rely on Murphy in 5 years' time still.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the standout survival story, Ben, for you? Now we know the teams have gone down.
You can argue, we'll put this to the comments, and I'm sure fans of each team will vote for their own, but you can argue 3, can't you, with Pompey, with West Brom and with Blackburn.
Can I throw Charlton in there as well? I know they came up from League One and they spent a bit of money.
No, you can't.
But they had a very good start to the season and have got over the line. I think they deserve credit for that.
But that's not the survival story of the season, is it? Blackburn.
I think Blackburn.
I know Mousinho's done great and he's been there for the long, but Blackburn's a mess. And this very calm, statesman-like guy goes in, draw, win, defeat, draw.
Yeah.
And I thought they were done for.
Yeah, I did.
They look gone.
It's just been the continuation as well with Blackburn Rovers of just this stripping of assets, the football club, and still being able to keep your head above water. It's an unbelievable job.
And just to explain away West Brom, Morrison, amazing. But that West Brom squad is much better than the Blackburn squad, and he's done brilliantly. And would you have him as the full-time manager, Baggies?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I also think with West Brom, where he deserves credit is that we said the same thing about Leicester all season. Squad way too good to go down. They've got the quality, but they couldn't get the results together on the pitch to avoid
Simon,
the drop.
I watched football in the 90s. West Brom 4-4-2. Get the fullbacks forward, 2 up front, get it in the box. I love to see that in 2026.
We've got to see it next season.
I want to see that all season from West Brom.
Nice. I mean, you talk about quality as well, and you look at the variation up front too now with Madger, with Hegabo, Daryl DK coming back.
Imre, the right back, if they can sign him, Palace looks very good player as well.
Yeah. So, a lot of quality in that squad.
Absolutely. We're going to do a quick match preview for the midweek game, Southampton versus Ipswich. We have touched on it quite a lot already, but it does feel significant in a way, and also, Ben, not significant in another way, doesn't it?
All the comments are going to say Ben's just trying to pour water on it because he's an Ipswich fan. There may be an element of truth. If you believe in unconscious bias, there's a large element of truth in that. But, Simon, it is an objective fact. I know you've got to hype this in your host chair. It is an objective fact that Ipswich could lose 10-0 to Southampton, win 1-0 against QPR, and unless Millwall banging...
I was just trying to do the maths then, actually.
I thought I'd gone in a bit too hard. The point I'm making is Ipswich can lose to Southampton, beat QPR on final day. I said it earlier in the show, didn't I? 1 win, 1 defeat, 1 draw, 1 defeat, and they're up. I mean, it would be amazing as an Ipswich Town fan to go to St Mary's, win the game, win promotion, but do you trust this Ipswich team to go there and do that? Honestly, what's more likely is not that Ipswich are going to turn up and turn Southampton over. I know they had a great win at Coventry, in a similar look to the game, stadium, opponent, etc. But we're between round 45 and 46. This is April, and you don't play with that freedom. So the hope for me is Southampton are knackered psychologically, emotionally, physically after the cup, and there's a late goal for Ipswich, grabs it 1-0. What's your take?
I'm so on the fence for this game because I think there's so many factors
But
to go into it. And
a draw is a massive irrelevance to everybody, isn't
exactly.
it?
So I don't know how will the teams be throwing bodies forward if it's a 0-0 with a few minutes left. Connor, I'm not sure.
They may as well.
Yeah.
What use is a draw to anybody?
Does it help? It doesn't help Southampton.
Not really.
At all, does it?
Unless you do get a weird round 46 and Millwall draw on the last day, and the point was actually of help to Ipswich. But then if this, it's a draw, maybe Middlesbrough fans are going to be sat there rubbing their hands thinking, okay, we're still in it now. But again, I don't know. It's a weird setup having a game between 45 and 46,
especially between these two teams in the form they're in and where they are in the table. Connor, where do you sit on it?
So Southampton win, right? I'm not saying this will happen, but I'm saying different permutations. So Southampton win, takes them to 79. Ipswich lose, obviously, and then they lose the game on the last day of the season. Southampton win the last day of the season. Southampton go up top 2.
No, not if Millwall win.
No, but their goal difference. If Millwall win, they're a point ahead. Yeah,
right.
Correct.
Okay,
Southampton need a favour from Oxford or QPR on final day to take points off Ipswich and Millwall. It could happen.
But it's looking very unlikely for Southampton or Middlesbrough to get promoted.
There's way too much Ipswich bias on this show, isn't there?
That's ridiculous. Everybody hates Ipswich.
Come on, Millwall.
We are
Get the job done.
So.
Score predictions. Let's do score predictions for Southampton versus Ipswich. I'm going 2-2. Entertaining draw that helps no one. Ben.
We go to Connor first.
2-0 Ipswich.
Okay.
Oh, and promotion done then.
Promotion done, yeah.
0-0.
A very unhelpful draw.
Completely
for both
unhelpful. Well, just quickly, you tell me, if it's 0-0 at minute 75, what are Eckert and McKenna doing? Are they chasing the game?
Chuck attackers on. Throw them on.
They probably have to, don't they?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter for Southampton in terms of they're in the playoffs minimum.
Yeah.
So they might as well try and finish 3rd or 4th.
And the only way they can finish 2nd is by winning. Whereas
So
Ipswich... It's not the case. So come on, Southampton, attack. Lots of gaps at the back, please.
Actually, 2-0 Southampton.
Okay, can I review my prediction?
I think I want to finish, guys, by asking you both, given we're coming to the end of the season. It's not a full season review, but what's been your favourite moment of the Championship season as a whole? It can be any appointment, goal, fixture, victory. For me, I'll give you a bit of thinking time. I'm trying not to say Coventry.
Ipswich did the double over Norwich.
Oh,
so
I thought you were going to say Coventry.
You're not that important, Simon.
I was going
Stop
to say the Ipswich double. First time in how many years? It's 16? Is it 16 years?
Double?
Is it?
Oh, 1992, the double.
Right,
First
okay.
win.
Was it 16 years?
Yeah, 2009.
That's what came to my head immediately. Ipswich, moment of the season.
I think the Frank Lampard story's a really good one, isn't it?
I think for significance, Coventry buying the CBS as well, massive, came back in August, and Leicester getting relegated was also quite.
I mean,
if Millwall take 2nd though, that will just trump everything, won't it?
Do you think Leicester going down?
Leicester going down is a massive, massive story, isn't it? Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, you can't really call it a moment. Well, I guess you can call it a moment, can't you? Leicester going down.
Yeah,
that probably it's staggering.
It's like the headline story.
It's staggering.
10 years from Premier League to
Vipotnik's been a good story, hasn't he?
Yeah,
fantastic as well. And Norwich's resurgence actually, as a whole under Philippe Clement.
I really liked the transition as well from Edwards to Hellberg, and I know it's not kind of worked out as we all maybe thought it would have when it was 5 wins on the bounce. They just beat Sheffield United, and we're like, oh my goodness, how do you stop this team? Runaway train, but. I've loved Hellberg in the Championship. Yeah. Brilliant brand of football.
Reynolds and McElhaney commentating on the game. No, did they? No.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, again. Bye.
Right, boys. In fact, hold on a second.
Oh,
boys.
Oh, God.
Thank you for joining me. Ben, Connor, looking forward to seeing you again
ridiculous.
soon.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Getting relegated, mate. Joking, Cov.
I could not care less. We will be back for the Sportsman Untitled Extra later in the week.
Put them on.
Well, yeah, go on. There you go, mate.
Sky blue.
There you go.
It might look
Sky
good.
blue com. There you
Oh,
go.
looks good with
Oh,
that
he's
hair as
rocking
doesn't
him.
it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
There we go.
stunning. We will be back later in the week to nail down some top 6 predictions. Please do like and subscribe. Get your thoughts in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time.